Yeah, I mean, we were obviously not the aggressor in the first half, and it dug us a hole that obviously was really tough to get out of. 30 points is a lot of points to make up. I thought we fought pretty good in the second half. I thought we didn't quit, which is an encouraging sign. But, we had to start the game with that type of energy to give ourselves a chance tonight. We didn't, and they did, so credit them.
You guys came into the game with a streak of 26 straight games, scoring 100 or more. That was the longest active streak in the NBA. Just given the fact that you guys are the youngest team in the league, now that streak has ended, your thoughts on kind of the offensive consistency that you'd been able to have up until this point?
Yeah, a lot of it's been pace because we've just had a lot of possessions compared to our opponents or compared to the rest of the league. So it's not necessarily a reflection of efficiency, which is ultimately where we're trying to go. But we've played pretty fast for much of the year. We had a hard time getting that going tonight because we were taking the ball out of the net a lot. And I thought that explained away a little bit of the offense tonight. But, we want to be a young team, fresh legs, play fast. We've done that for much of the year. I think that stat's a reflection of it.
Even when the game was 25-point deficit in the third quarter, you had a nice defensive possession, weak side X out between Isaiah and Jalen, and then the other Jalen kind of snaps up the rebound. Just your thoughts on kind of the focus and that you saw in those types of possessions defensively in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to be down 30, but if you are, you want to keep playing, and I thought we did that tonight. Every guy, the effort in the second half was there. Nobody was letting go of the rope. It just obviously was too much to overcome because of the start. And I think the lesson is, we don't want to give that energy in a 30-point game. We want to give that energy at the beginning of the game to give ourselves a chance. And we've done that for much of the year. Tonight was a little bit of an outlier in that sense, but it's a lesson nonetheless.
It was a kind of an all-around effort for them tonight. Do you think that it was a little bit too much focus on Embiid? I know he's a guy that you have to try to slow down, but do you think you guys kind of lost some of the other guys?
I don't know why. I just thought we were a little flat, early on both ends of the floor. It just has to be a game that, you bring more energy than them. They're really, really good when they sit down in the half court, both ends of the floor. And, we wanted the game plan tonight, less so on Embiid, was more to be the more energetic, faster, harder cutting, harder running team. And we got to that eventually, but it took us a long time to get to it, and especially at the start. We didn't start there, and we played their game, and that's what happened.
And second least amount of assists you guys have had this year. Do you think that was more of them, you guys taking quick shots because you got down early, or think you played a little too much one-on-one, or is it just you guys were just missing the shots that could have been assists?
I thought, again, it's elite defense, and at the end of the day, against an elite defense, you really have to work. You have to work with your legs and you have to work the ball. And I didn't think we were overly selfish. I just thought, we didn't put the work in with the energy that we needed to on the offensive end of the floor in the first half. And I think everything offensively, from the points to the assists, was downstream from there.
And Coach, obviously a tough game to have to sit on for 2 days. What's the messaging like after this game for these 2 off days, then heading up to play Boston in a doubleheader here and then to Orlando on the Wednesday?
I try not to be overly emotional with the team after the game. Happy New Year. Be safe. They have an off day tomorrow, so get off your feet. And then we have a practice day Monday that we have to get some mileage out of because obviously we have a lot of work to do.
We've talked about it in the past, but just the start that Philly got off to, was there anything unique about the way that they were able to kind of come out and land the first punch?
We weren't good to start the game on both ends of the floor. I think they got a lot of open looks, boards. They made shots, but our offense was too stagnant. We didn't get enough looks. We kind of spoke pregame about getting out and making this team run. We didn't do it early. We didn't do it for a lot of the game. So slow start, and you can't afford that against experienced team like Philly.
You mentioned the offense. Tonight's one of the rare nights that you guys haven't kind of been productive. You'd had a streak of 26 straight games scoring at least 100 that got snapped tonight. What have you thought about the consistency that you've had offensively leading up to tonight?
Yeah, offense hasn't been the problem for us. I think when we're locked in both sides of the floor, I think we compete with anybody. But when we pick and choose in this league as a young team, you can't get it done, one night just playing offense and not playing defense because teams are too good, too experienced, and know how to counter that. So for us especially, we've got to be good on both sides of the floor every night to win games. And I think we had a stretch of that, throughout the month of we're really good on the defensive end, and that translated on the offense. But tonight was both ends of the floor weren't good enough. But I mean, offense hasn't really been the problem for us. It's been defense as of late, so we've got to clean that up.
You had a really efficient scoring night. It seemed like you were even creating a little bit more separation for yourself in the lane, using your body. Are you finding that you're getting cleaner looks in the lane and attacking down low?
Yeah, I feel it. I mean, it was tough early on, good guys, kind of figure out how to guard you. So I had to, learn how to counter that myself. And I think I've just tried to find other ways to impact games. Been trying to crash the glass, offensively, defensively, start the break. When I get into the lane, just kind of knowing that, I'm 6'8" and I can finish over these smaller dudes. So I've been doing that a little more, but just trying to make the right play when the defense collapses, kicking out. So, I trust my guys and they trust me with the ball.
Josh, before the game, other head coaches like Doc Rivers and Chauncey Billups have been very complimentary of your game. What's it been like for you to kind of hear those former NBA players really love what they're seeing from your game?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. Anytime, one of the greats, like Doc, Chauncey, compliment you, that means a lot. They've seen it all. They've seen a lot of players come through. So, you always appreciate as a player the kind words coming from, those who've been before you, all-stars, legends of, the NBA game. So, it's awesome to hear that, those kind of things.
And then Doc also said before the game that what really stood out to him was how you wanted to play in summer league this last summer, and that there were other rookies who didn't have quite the season that you did that were sitting out. What was that process like? Were you advocating to play in the Vegas summer league and in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, I was meant to play, Salt Lake, and then I said to Sam, can I play in Vegas? I mean, I just wanted to keep getting familiar with the guys, the new guys that we had, building that chemistry. I played the first game, and then as soon as I got off the court, I texted Sam again, trying to get him to let me play another game. And I knew that was going to be my last one. But just, hooping, I knew I was going to be in Vegas. So, while I was there, I wanted to play, be on the floor with the guys, try to help the young guys, integrate into the team. So, I mean, it was fun. I love, playing in Vegas. It's a fun environment to play in. So, I definitely enjoyed that.
Yeah, second lowest amount of assists you guys had tonight. Do you think that was more of you guys getting down and taking quick shots, or were they doing something special against you guys?
No, that's it. I mean, we took a lot of early shots off the dribble, a lot of contested, tough stuff. I mean, our offense is flowing when we're moving the ball. Everyone's touching it. But I think, there was a stretch in that second quarter where it was pretty stagnant. Guys, including myself, were just going one-on-one, and we weren't really moving the ball side to side. So I think that's when Philly really opened the game up, and I think we had to clean that up quicker and start getting into our offense a bit better. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it was just a lot of off the dribble stuff, a lot of tough contested shots, and some nights we had good looks. We didn't make a lot of them tonight, but nights happen like that. But you double down on the good shots, and overall the outcomes will be in your favor.
Is that just a simple fix, like you guys know you have to keep the offense moving, or is there something specific you guys can do to keep the offense moving when you get down like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's on the guards. It's on us guards to get us back into some sort of structure. I mean, there was a stretch throughout the second where shot a lot of jump shots. We didn't really put pressure on the rim. So when you're shooting jumpers, it's easy for teams to guard. I mean, we could have cleaned it up quicker, but as I said, it's on us that us guards that are on the floor to recognize that, and change that and get us into some offense. But we just didn't have it, tonight, and especially in that second quarter.
They just shot it really well. I feel like kind of going in the beginning of our game, I thought we got a lot of good looks that just didn't fall. And I think we kind of let that affect us on the defensive end. But they just kind of threw in a couple shots that went in. It's just kind of the tail of the night. They hit some tough ones.
As a team, you had scored at least 126 straight games. That was a longest active streak in the NBA up until tonight. What's allowed you all to be productive so consistently, given the fact that you're the youngest team in the league?
I think just willing to play with each other, willing to get off of it and trust each other to make another play. I thought we kind of got back to that second half. It's kind of hard when you're in that deep of a hole. But, that's kind of been the tail of our season, just kind of playing for each other, being willing to move the ball.
You just mentioned kind of playing back to more of your identity in the second half. I know it's probably kind of a basic thing, but you and Isaiah had a nice weak side X out that you executed in that third quarter. Just what kind of mentality does it take down 25 to be able to dig in and get those types of stops?
I mean, just kind of trying to stick to our values despite the score. Mark at halftime just kind of brought up, not looking at the score and kind of just trying to get back to what we do. Like even just simple plays like that are stuff that we look at and that we can build on.
Going going back to that third quarter and really the second half, just what was the kind of flip for you guys defensively to just try to like amp up the pressure there?
When you're down that much, usually it's pick up full court and kind of run around and be pests. And I thought we did a good job at that. Like I said, they hit some tough shots that we can live with, but I thought just physicality the first half just wasn't good for us. But second half we just kind of got rowdy and just kind of ran around, and it ended up we actually started covering for each other a lot more. So.
Jalen, on Synergy, you're ranking the 95th percentile on putbacks. What is it about you that is able to go up and get those putback dunks and make a second opportunity for your team?
Just topside tagging. A little bit of luck goes into that. You crash so much during the game, and you only get a small percentage of that back. But just playing with the guys, you kind of know how guys might miss if they do, and just kind of being around there allows me to kind of stick my nose in the play or at least get a hand on it.